Hello everybody, it's me, Dana, and today I want to talk to you about the importance of your imagination. I want you to really think about this word with me and break it down. Imagine, image, in. Our imagination is our ability to put our image in to different scenarios. Our ability to put our image into different realities. Our ability to create new realities. The imagination is one of the greatest tools that we have. And it is not to be underestimated and dismissed as it has been. It is the key to our creativity, to our other side, to our development, to what's been missing. The key to your happiness and unlocking your inner child, your inner knowings, your inner joy, your peace, your abundance. Your imagination is a very, very important tool in creating a better reality for yourself. You use your imagination in creating your reality constantly. You just haven't been informed on the instructions of how to create a reality that you like better. So I'm here to help you with that. Okay? So whatever you have been focusing on mentally, physically, and emotionally is what you create. Okay? So if your thoughts are all fear-based, worrying about money, worrying about health, worrying about the economy, worrying about war, worrying about disease, worrying about debt, worrying about the planet, worrying about this. Well, thank you all for exuding all of your energy into the worry energy. Thank you so much for wreaking havoc all over your life and everyone around you. That's what you've been using your energy for, to focus on things that you don't like. And then you sit around with others talking about the things you don't like. And then you get more things that you don't like to talk about. All right? So just know that ongoing, while you are doing that, there's a whole large number of other people using their imagination for creating beautiful scenarios, wonderful life situations, fun projects, how to be happy, how to make the world a better place, how to work together, how to co-create. Woo! Look what those people are using their imagination for. Oh, thank God some of them are using it for good. Okay? So, your imagination is your powerful tool. It's time to be using it. And it's time to be listening to those voices in your head. Because they're real. When I went and saw a lady, and she looked at me and she said, "Have you been hearing all these voices in your head, and have you been obsessed with numbers lately?" And the tears just came instantly. Yes, it's like static in my head, all of these voices, and I keep obsessing over the numbers. Like, look at that number, look at those numbers. Don't you understand what they mean? Were the thoughts in my head constantly. I'm like, yes, look at them. Yes, they're important. Yes. I don't know what they mean. I thought I was going insane. But that lady helped me understand that I was not psycho, I was psychic. And she said, you asked for this. You opened it up, you asked for it. And as she said it, I could remember a flashback in my head, like, pfft, and this is the moment when you opened it up, and this is the moment when you asked. I remember being so frustrated because I knew things. I just know. I don't know how I know. I just know things that can help other people regain their happiness, to find love, to discover what it is, to understand the power of it, and to bring it into their lives. I know the thoughts and the blocks in their energy that's preventing them from health and happiness and peace and joy. I know it. It's in my head. The frustration I was experiencing was, what good is knowing it if the people whom it can help won't hear it? It's like I'm singing the answers, and I know the answers, and I've got it, and I'm speaking them clearly. But they're not on the same station as I am. See, I'm playing on channel 9, and they were listening to channel 2. And I couldn't figure out why they couldn't hear me. So I had to stop worrying about the ones who could not hear me, to listen to the ones who could hear me, and to start focusing on myself and listening to my own cries for help. I had to heal myself so that I could gain the courage and the power to be available to help others. Because now I can help them, just as that lady showed up in my world when I needed to hear, no, you're not crazy. You're tuning in. You've connected to the other internet. You've become a cell phone, so to speak. I volunteered to be a connection, to be a deliverer of messages from the spirit world to this one. I asked to help. And when I asked how I could help, that's when the messages started coming in. She helped me funnel them into one voice and help me only hear one message at a time instead of a waiting room full of them. So that was one of the steps on my spiritual awakening journey to opening up my gifts and my knowings, taking it from just an imagination thought to getting confirmation from another human being. So if you want confirmation on the things that you are believing is going on in your world, then you have to be brave enough to share it with others. Go and see somebody. And when you get that confirmation, celebrate it. Celebrate it. There's so many beings out there who have their gifts opening up for them, but they're afraid of them because they don't understand them and they have no one to talk to about it. So you have to get out of your normal circle of friends, maybe. Maybe you're hearing in your head, go to this bookstore, go check out this aisle, go look at this book. It's your imagination, if you want to call it that, fine. Listen to your imagination when it's telling you, go here, talk to this person. Listen to your spidey senses, your intuition when it says, go left today. Go somewhere different for lunch. Go sit in the park on your coffee break. Listen to those guidance messages and celebrate them. And then when you get confirmation because you noticed a coincidence or you followed your guidance, share it, celebrate it, and then guess what? You'll get more of them. That's how it works. You got to trust it. You got to believe in it. And then you really, really, really start to know it. Looking back now, I realize that most of my life, there have been so many situations where I just knew things, that there was just no way that I could have learned about it in this life. And I just knew things about people. I instinctively and intuitively knew when I was a young child. There were certain adults that were in my world to make sure I did not get on their bad side. There were adults in my parents' circle of friends that just didn't like me. And that's kind of strange when you're a child, when you intuitively know there is an adult who doesn't like you and you don't know why. And I honestly don't even believe that that person even understood why. So looking back on it now, it makes me kind of curious as to, it was more on a soul level. My soul and that soul had some issues either in the past, or there was some darkness in that soul that I could recognize and understood to keep my distance from it for my own well-being. Okay? When you're a child and you think those things, even if I did say it, I probably would have just, most of what I did say just got stuffed under the carpet and, did not get acknowledged, Oh, I think that person doesn't like me and I don't know why. Oh, you're just imagining that. Yes, my imagination, my intuition, my inner knowing knew it. You're just imagining it is a statement that people say that discredits and discounts and makes it think like that thought or feeling that you were having was not real. And I call bullshit. If you're thinking it, you're feeling it, and you're knowing it, it is real. And it is inside out, upside down, and backwards to constantly put doubt into that formula. Get the doubt out. Yes. You have inner knowings and feelings and thoughts come to you. You can call it your imagination if you want. But they are very important messages. And the more importance you put upon them, the sooner your path will open up for you. Is it just my imagination? Last week I found myself in an emergency room. Right side of my neck, right behind the jaw here. Just below the ear started to get hard. And then it started to swell, and within about 24 hours, it was so swollen, it hurt to open my mouth, like this much. I was like, oh, something wrong there, right? And I didn't know what it was, but there was seriously something was wrong in this area. Something had to come out. Something needed to be released. Something was very irritated. and infected or something, right? There were no bites. There was, no scratches or marks. It was coming from the inside. Now, here's the epiphanies that I've had in hindsight, because that's how a lot of us get them. While I was in the hospital, I'm thinking, okay, so if I have healing powers, how come I'm sick and I'm not able to get this to move? Because I was focused, I was meditating, I was trying to move the blocked energy, but there was something there and it just wasn't moving right, and my neck just kept swelling. So the message that came to my head first was, you haven't been speaking your truth. You have not been sharing all of what you know with enough people. You need to get out there more publicly. Fear. Okay, I will. When? uh, I've been, wanting to get out there and speak to groups of people and share these beautiful experiences. And the fear just keeps me hidden over and over and over again. So I'm doing it this way, and I am getting out there more. And I am being inspired and guided by the people who keep coming in and out of my life all the time. So just know that as you're out there on your path and sharing your truth and speaking your truth, you're causing a positive ripple in the pond for someone else to get brave enough to share their truth. So while I was sitting in the waiting room with the other people, various people in states of pain and stuff, a couple chairs down from me, there's a row of us sitting there, and I'm like, well, they just finished telling me I could be here for a couple of hours waiting for the results from, they're going to do lab work and a CT scan and, get comfy. You're going to be here a while. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I couldn't cease staring at the wall for 4 hours, especially when I'm hearing loud and clearly that the young man 2 seats down from me needs to hear a message. He needed to hear from me. So, deep breath. Look at the stranger and go, excuse me, do you mind if I ask you a question? He goes, okay, sure. I go, would you describe yourself as extremely sensitive? And are you aware that the fact that you're so sensitive is the reason that you've picked up these dark energies that are wreaking havoc in your body and bringing on this pain? Was it easy to get brave enough to say that to a perfect stranger? Not really. However, I knew it had to be said. And I could not worry about my ego getting embarrassed if it wasn't real, if it was just my imagination. And as usual, the response that I get let me know it wasn't my imagination. And after much talk and much healing work, I ended up giving this young person in the emergency room, waiting room, we both felt much better. He had a lot of dark energies plugging up his system, and I pulled some of them out for him. And I used the healing words that I was guided to give to help him heal his heart, to help him release some of those limiting thoughts that were keeping him, dragging him back down, dragging him back down, dragging him back down. It's like his soul's trying to lift him up, and the thoughts and beliefs were dragging him back down, and there was this big, huge struggle going on inside of this body. I knew he had seen some amazing things happening the night before, as I had, with the moon and in the skies. I knew that he had seen what I had seen. And I knew that I was tapping into his energy field and seeing where his energy was blocked. I had to be brave enough to share my weird with that stranger. So after a few days of being injected with IV antibiotics to get this swelling to go down and get the infection moving, the doctors also told me to suck on lemons because it would help induce saliva and get this gland producing saliva and pulling the infection out, right? And then after the fourth day of going in for these IV treatments, the doctor said to me, because what caused it? What caused it? What caused it? And the first day, and I asked, he says, well, we don't know. It could be sluggish saliva, it could be blockage there. We're not sure what can cause it. Sometimes it can produce a stone. We just don't know. That wasn't quite good enough for me. How come you don't know? How come you don't know? To me, there should be more questions in the trying to find out what causes things. That is the only thing, that is one of the things that I would add to the medical practices. Okay. Yes. When you are in need of emergency help, there is, God bless the doctors. I mean, when my appendix were flaring up and needed to come out, yes, thank God there were people there who knew what that was and knew what to do and helped me. Yes, thank God I had a place to go to, and there was somebody who had some knowledge who could release the pain and help my body to fight back whatever it was fighting, right? Yes, that's important. I do believe we need to spend a little more time in figuring out the causes of what's bringing people to the hospitals and what's bringing on the onslaughts of diseases and ill health in so many. That is what I am wanting to change. So basically, enhancing the lines of communication so that we can solve some mysteries. That's what I am all about. Just improving the communication so we can all work together and figure out the situation, what caused it, right? Okay. Oh, the indoor of people with cancer and diabetes is just constant. It's like a business. It's like, it's a never-ending flow. Well, where are they getting it from? What's causing it? Okay. So there's a flood, right? We need to figure out where the source is and turn off the taps. Okay? Instead of spending the majority of our focus on the flood and doing what we can to relieve the stresses of the flood, trying to cure the flood. No, I want to figure out what's causing it and stop it at the source. So that's been my journey about figuring out how to heal the mind, the body, and the spirit. Okay? Because it's all connected. We're not dissected off in pieces, parts. You don't drop off your arm here and your leg there and your head over here, go about and do separate tasks. No, we are connected. That's why I find it kind of strange to have a specialized field in medicine, because that's fine maybe if you're focusing on one specific area, but it's never ever separate from the other areas. So you do have to know the whole boat. Doesn't do us any good if all you know about is the sail and there's a leak in the bellows or the masts or whatever they're called. If you can fix the carburetor, fine in my car, but If the battery's disconnected and no one's figured that out, wow, then we have a problem, okay? So you have to understand the entire engine. You have to understand all of the parts, really, if you want to be helping people heal completely. Now, yes, we can't all maybe understand all of it, but we have to work together, okay? So like if a doctor has a patient who, they've been giving them this treatment, which has worked for many others, but it's not working for this person, well then, why? Why? Well, it's probably an emotional and mental thought process and belief or pain that's going on in the background that is connected to the physical illness or disease that is going on in the body. There's always something else underlying, right? For myself with the neck, okay, so my first thought when this started to flare up was, we have all those chakras in our body, and what do they call this energy field? This point, your throat chakra. This is your throat energy field. And where was I showing and manifesting illness? In my throat chakra area. And what had been the messages that I had been getting? I needed to speak. I needed to talk. I needed to get out there and talk to strangers and share my weird knowings. And I wasn't doing that. And the universe did something to manifest a message there. The last time I was in the hospital, the doctor said to me, he says, if you look when you open your mouth back there is a little tiny hole. You can actually see it. And, sometimes that could get clogged or something. And when he said that, it was like my mind flashed back the night before it started to swell and hurt, eating some table grapes with my friends here. And the reason it stands out in my mind, because I'd never bought table grapes before in my life. I don't know why, just never had little tinier grapes. And when I was eating one of them, I distinctly remember it squishy and the seeds, and I'm thinking, oh, there's seeds in it, right? And they're going to the back of my mouth and kind of going and gagging, right? A little bit, and thinking, oh. And then I was talking with a friend, and I remember trying to, get it down and swallow it so I could finish saying what I had to say. But it actually distracted me from saying what I was saying. And then, so when that happens, when I'm kind of trying to get a message out and I kind of get sidetracked, I hear in my head was, not now, not with this person. They're not ready. So I change my story partway through, or I switch lanes, because I know that the audience that I'm currently speaking to is not ready to hear what I've got to say. And so when that was happening, it was like, all right, don't share that story here and now, was the message that I got. But as the doctor was telling me about this hole, I instantly thought, that's where that grapeseed went. And it got stuck in there. And that's what caused the swelling and the infection to just keep going and going and going, because there was something wrong, something in there that didn't belong, and my body was trying to get it out. Now, when I did go and get the lemon juice and this and that, and I started sucking on it and producing the saliva in my mouth, I did start to feel some relief. On the third day, the doctor said, whoa, you've really turned it around. Like, he says, I can't believe how immensely it's gone down and turned around in the last 24 hours. And I was doing, mentally, visually, you know, wishing this to go down and go away. I thanked the universe. I said, thank you for this message. Thank you for this pain and this message. Thank you for making me pay attention and be grateful for my health. I am grateful for the message that I was not appreciating my voice and my ability to speak and share. And thank you for helping me to remember how important it is. And you can go now, is what I was saying to this. So, my spirit and my thoughts were helping my body to relax and release, because I was grateful for the message, and then I asked it to carry on and go on its way. This is important for me to share with you, because there's others of you out there who have had experiences like this, and if you look back on it and you recall these certain things, you are going to have your own epiphanies, okay? It's so important for more and more of us to share these kinds of stories and experiences, because as I share my story and my experience, somebody out there is going, oh, that happened to me too, you know? Okay? I'm here to provide a safe, healing environment, so that when the people come to see me, or people who connect with me over the internet, when I tap into you, it's like, I know what your heart and soul needs to hear. I know what it needs to hear. I am given the healing words that will cut through the emotional scar tissue that has built up around your soul. That's one of the gifts that I've been given. To give you some great release in knowing, yeah, you're not crazy. You're beautiful, okay? And you have come here to uncover these gifts, to figure out what they are, and to share them at this time. It's time to unwrap your gifts. It's time to get out from underneath the clutter of doubt, the cloud of fear, all right? That's why I'm here to help you. It's why we've connected. It's why you come across my path. I am a healing artist. I have healing energy. I've known this for quite some time. I've had various experiences where other people who can read auras and energies have told me, whoa, you need to pull it back a little bit. You need to pull it in, because it's so big. Your energy, your field. And when I was first hearing that, I had no idea what the heck they were really talking about. I was having people telling me, you need to ground yourself. You need to ground yourself. And I was focusing on grounding, and it just wasn't working for me. Then I met a lady, because I needed some help. I'm like, you know what? I'm flailing out here. I'm feeling lost. I feel like I'm here all alone, that no one gets me, and I need some help. I need some connection. And whenever I say with my outside voice, I need some help, I need some connection, my intuition will guide me and connect me with somebody who was speaking my language. I ended up connecting with a lady who's, she says to me, she says, you're feeling homesick, but you don't know where home is. That's exactly how I was feeling. How'd she know that? How did she know what my imagination was telling me? Was that just her imagination? Is it just my imagination when I hear the thoughts in your head? Or is it your imagination? Is it our imagination? Yes, it is. Our magical images are communicating. You're sending out signals all the time. Can I read your mind? Nope. But I can read those signals. I can hear your soul screaming for help. And it's asking me to speak to you gently so that you will learn to be quiet and you can hear it too. I'm going to help you know what messages to listen to and what's clutter. Okay? I'll be sharing more of my weird experiences weekly because it's important for more of you to understand how beautiful these wonderful experiences individuals rarely discuss are. That's what weird is. A wonderful experience individuals rarely discuss. And it's time to share the weird. Because the weird is the key to our success. Imagine a whole bunch of us walking around sharing our beautiful, weird, magical gifts and living in our imagination land and creating a beautiful existence here among all of us. Instead of the past ways of hiding away the mystics, hiding away those in the know, keeping them in the dark, locking them up. No, it's time to come out of the spiritual closet and shine. There are so many gifted beings on this planet at this time that are just waiting to shine. So I'm inviting you out to step into your power, share your gifts, out with doubt. No, if you've come across something, some sort of healing knowledge, that your soul was drawn to it for a reason because it has a past history of this knowledge. And it brought that with you, and you're waking it up in your DNA. You are waking up and remembering. You're not having to learn it. You are remembering. It's already within you. The information is not at the library. The information is in this library. You have a library in here. Okay? That's where your answers are. There's a lot of people who are just a few pages ahead in the book or a little further down the path in the journey, and they're stopping and they're turning around and they're shining their light on the path for you. And how we shine our light on the path for the others to help us create this great big huge illuminated planet is by turning around and sharing our weird knowings with the other people that we know need to hear it. A few weeks ago, I was sitting on the side of a river with a new friend, and as I'm sitting there, I have an image of the rocks coming to life. It was like a cartoon character, like it's seen in a comic book. This big, all of a sudden the mountain just comes to life. And I could see it plain as day. And I just looked at my new friend and I said, hey, how long have you been able to talk to the rock people? That's kind of a weird thing to say to somebody, don't you think? A little bit risky to say to somebody. You know, he could have said, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, and changed the topic. But no, he just beamed from ear to ear because somebody finally acknowledged what he thought was just his imagination. Somebody else could see it. Somebody else knew that he could talk to the rock people. Somebody else could see that he was just dying to fly in the trees. That's where he felt he belonged, because that's where his soul knows where his power is. And he needed confirmation from another soul to help him go further down on his path. Okay? How long have you been able to talk to the plants? You hear them crying, don't you? Oh God, yes, yes, I hear them screaming and crying, and they're talking to me so loudly. The relief that client felt when I shared that knowing with them was a wonderful thing to see. When I can walk up and take the cloud of doubt and fear and thought that are causing you pain out, so much that it causes you to go, whoa. Do not underestimate how powerful that is. Speaking our truth and sharing our knowings is powerful. And it's time. It's time to come out of the spiritual closet. And if I can help any of you out there with that, I'm happy to do so. I'm sharing my weird with you, so you know that it's safe to do so now. We need the people who can connect with Mother Earth. We need the people who can surrender to the earth and to help us help wake up the others to their knowings, to get them released from their fears and their doubts. That's why we're here. We're here to share our wonderful experiences. It's time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thanks for sharing my videos and helping illuminate the path for more and more and more of us to discover these magical, beautiful things that we can do that help each other shine. You are a diamond. I see your light. I'm here to help you get out of the rough. Smiles to all of you. It's me, Dana.